I invite you to be seated. It is a wonderful day for a wedding. It's great. It's great. And we literally started the ceremony off with the bang. We heard the gunshots. Always surprises in life.
We didn't order a shotgun wedding.
On behalf of Nathan and Caitlin, I welcome all of you, family and friends, to this wedding ceremony. And you've traveled, some of you have traveled a little ways to get here, and some of you have traveled a little bit further. I did a little geography homework last night to see how far some of you had traveled. And it's amazing to me. It's from here to Australia, it's about 10,000 miles or about 16,000 kilometers. And that's a one-way trip. So when we talk about life of Caitlin and Nathan being a journey, it literally has been, and it continues to be a journey for both of you. So it's, it's so wonderful that this is the day on that journey where we stop and we pause and say we have come to a very special place. Because this is the place, and this is the day when you become a wedded couple. And today is a celebration. It's a celebration of love. It's a celebration of commitment and of family. It's a celebration for all of us, for two people who have chosen to dedicate their lives to one another. And so welcome all of you, family, friends, photographers, everybody that's here. You're all welcome. And whoever you are and wherever you're from, whatever you believe, whoever you love, you're welcome here. And now Nathan and Caitlin, you still want to say the little memory? Okay. The memory a little bit about? Okay. There's people here. We talked about what we're talking about here. We talked, there's people in all of our lives that we say, wouldn't it have been wonderful if they could have been here? And, I just kind of take a moment to remember those special people that have really helped Nathan and Caitlin become the people they are. We don't grow up alone. We grow up with the love and the care of people that have helped us be who we are today. And so let's just take a moment of silence to remember who those people are. You know who they are. And I think sometimes, those folks kind of are here in a very special way. looking down on us. You know, they don't disappear when they die. It didn't rain. They're up there praying for us 100%, and guess what? It worked just wonderful. So, you know, we gather here today as witnesses to celebrate this marriage. And the thing that we sometimes forget is that we are a part of this wedding. We are the witnesses. It's not that piece of paper that gets signed. I mean, yeah, but you know, it's nice from a legal point of view to sign the paper. But in the history of weddings, when we go back, before we had all the court systems and everything else, it was the people. The people were actually the record that the wedding took place. And that's one of the reasons why we invite kids to weddings, because as things move along, they're the ones that remember having been there. So each one of you here today plays a very special role, because you truly are the witnesses. You are here to proclaim that this wedding took place and to share in it. So the way we'd like to begin, there's two readings that Caitlin and Nathan have picked out that, in the words, it's one of these, we all have things that inspire us in our lives. And sometimes we listen to these and we say, yeah, that said it better than I could. So we'll start out with Jared. And Jared has a reading for us. So I'd invite Jared to come forward here.
To make this relationship work, therefore, it takes more than love. It takes trust. To know in your heart that what you want is only the best for each other. It takes dedication to stay open to one another, to learn and grow, even when it is difficult to do so. And it takes faith to go forward together without knowing what the future holds for you both. While love is our natural state of being, these other qualities are not as easy to come by. They are not a destination, but a journey. The true art of married life is an inner spiritual journey. It is a mutual enrichment and a give and take between two personalities, a mingling of two endowments, which diminishes neither, but enhances both. So it is on this summer's eve, let us rejoice, yet know that we are here not just to observe, but also to participate in this marriage ceremony. May we all remember that the path of love is meant to be walked together with God and with all of humanity. No persons in a love relationship can have a meaning apart from their family, their friends, and their community.
The love that we talk about, and sometimes in our culture today we can trivialize love as some kind of a warm tummy feeling. But we know that love is a lot deeper than that. Love is not just something that happens to us, but it's something that we have to work at. It's a very active verb. It's a very active participation, and our tradition tells us this. And part of that wisdom of the past was expressed very elegantly by St. Paul. And so we have our second reading now from Cody. If I don't lose this.
Tongues of mortals and angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers, and understand all the mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all of my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind, love is not envious or boastful, or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never ends, but as for prophecies, they will come to an end. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will come to an end.
Nathan, I'm going to ask you to button me up here. We have a little equipment failure. Can you see a button back there? You got it? Thank you, sir. All those wonderful surprises that happen in life. And, you know, we all need support. It's a good example of it. And part of the support that we're going to explain, that we're going to have next is what's called the unity candle. And if you haven't been to a wedding with a unity candle, you know, it's a wonderful symbol that says that flame of life. That flame of life that Nathan and senior moment, I'm sorry. Nathan and Caitlin's parents have given them. It's a very real, I mean, we can talk about life as a spark and a flame, but really there's something wonderful about a flame. You can't really get your hands on it, it will burn you, but it keeps living, it keeps growing in a certain way. So what we're going to do is I'm going to invite both parents, Nathan's parents and Caitlin's parents, to come forward at the same time, and they're going to light, each one of them is going to light, this will be Nathan's candle, and this is Caitlin's candle here, and you'll light them. And then once they're lit, then I'm going to invite both of you to come together and light the candle in the center, which real symbolizes the joining of both of you in marriage. So if I could have the parents come forward now. There we go. You know, life again is full of surprises, and we make do, don't we? Right? And sometimes these little symbols tell us more than we think they're going to. So, I think that's great. Okay, now this is the point where we have that part of the wedding where you get to actually proclaim to your family and your friends your vows to one another. Caitlin?
I can't believe we are standing here today. Getting here was a challenging journey, but I wouldn't want to go through it with anyone else. You're my best friend, and you're the one that I go to. When everything is going well. And I look to you for comfort and strength and support. You make me out with everything you would be helpful. And there's no one else I want to go through this way. I promise to always love and take care of you and support and encourage you to fulfill all of your dreams, no matter how big or small. I promise to always be honest, patient, and forgiving. And I promise to always be on the other side through every challenge. I promise to walk with you wherever our journey takes us.
but a part of me is still to this day can't believe that I get to marry you. I choose you, and I'll choose you over and over again, without pause, without doubt, in a heartbeat, I'll always choose you. I vow to love you in all forms, now and forever. I promise never to forget this once in a lifetime love. Never forget where we came from. Always trust that no matter what challenges are thrown to carry us apart, we'll always find our way back.
Their vows have been proclaimed to one another, before God, and before all of us here present. And now we have the ring ceremony. We join in that ancient of ceremonies that gives a physical sign of the vows that Caitlin and Nathan have just proclaimed to one another. We have the ring. We've done it. These rings that we have, you hold. These, you can see, give them to one another. Right, okay. It's right These wedding rings that we have here are a tangible sign, physical sign, of the vows that the two of you have just proclaimed. Wear them every day to remind yourselves of the promises that you've just made to one another. In addition, realize that when you place these wedding rings on one another's fingers, you're releasing the past. You're bringing only those memories and those desires and those hopes which will belong to each other into your future life. And remember most of all that your marriage is not about the rings, no matter how beautiful they are, but it's who comes with those rings. Nathan? You can say, with this ring, I be wed. Okay. Now let's stand and give thanks for this wonderful marriage that we've just witnessed. And say together, in celebration, that family prayer, the Lord's Prayer, that Jesus has taught us. So together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Jesus said, I leave you with my peace I give to you. With a smile and twinkling eyes, or with handshake or hug, I invite each of you to celebrate this marriage by sharing with one another a sign of your peace and joy.
Come on. Please be with me, brother.
Oh, thank you.
No, I was going to talk about it, but I totally understand.
You know, touch is such a wonderful experience. It's one thing to be with one another, but when you reach out and you can touch someone and say, I care about you. Isn't that wonderful? And you know, it's not just two people marrying today, although they certainly have been, but it's families coming together. It's traditions coming together. It's countries coming together. You know, and isn't this wonderful that we can do this in a world and a time where there is so much confusion and doubt sometimes and worry about where we're going, that we can have the faith and the joy and the optimism that this is going to work, that this is something wonderful, despite all the garbage that's out there, despite the gunshots, despite everything else, right? We are making it work, and we're celebrating that, and that's a wonderful feeling of joy and blessing and wow. So what I invite you all to do at this point, in closing, there's an ancient sign. It goes back to Abraham and Aaron, his disciple, and it goes back to the Easter tradition of the people of God with the catechumens, and it goes back to the tradition of elders blessing their children. And that is of reaching out with your hands as you're willing and able to. And if you would do that, and if you do this as a sign that you're extending your own personal gift to Nathan and Caitlin, as I read the Irish blessing for them. Nathan, Caitlin, may your mornings bring joy and your evenings bring peace. May your troubles grow few as your blessings increase. May the saddest day of your future be no worse than the happiest day of your past. May your hands be forever clasped in friendship and your hearts joined together in love. Your lives are very special. God has touched both of you in many ways. May God's blessing rest upon you and fill you for all your coming days, forever and ever. Amen. Nathan and Caitlin, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You now kiss. Friends, I present to you for the first time Mr. and Mrs. Nathan Lumley. Cocktail hour over in the patio on the lawn, and wonderful. Let the party continue. We cue the music?
Cue the music. Technical difficulties.